Hey, how's it going? Checking in on my daily update. Presented today, this afternoon, or this morning actually, which was a session on phone confidence, kind of basic psychology and emotional regulation, state management, but specifically applied to picking up the phone and making unsolicited outbound sales calls or even internal calls. This is a challenge that some individuals within this particular organization are facing, and kind of understandably so as well. Hence why we've been asked to come in and deliver some training on that. So it was really interesting actually, pulling together some elements and bits from previous sessions that I've delivered to this group and bringing it all together in a kind of a model. Basically, we looked at the skills, the stories that they're telling themselves, and the state that they are in, the emotional state, whether that's motivated and excited or kind of nervous and a little bit kind of fearful of rejection. So bringing all of those things and elements together and pulling them into a model that's very, very specific to that particular challenge. Of course, it can be expanded out to other challenges as well. But I think I've mentioned before in these daily updates that that's one of the things that I can see things moving towards a lot more in the future. Not just general resilience, not just general stress, not just general well-being, but how do you apply these things into very specific challenges that people are facing. And if you're working with in groups with audiences who have common denominator challenges, then I think that is probably going to be a good way forwards. So that was a good session, and not perfect by any means. First time I delivered it. A few things I thought went well, but a few things also I definitely wouldn't do again. I'll do very differently next time. And it was really useful to have because it was a Gen Healthy Minds call, Mike was on the call, really useful to have a catch up with him afterwards and go through some of those things that went well, things that would change for the next time. Unfortunately, we haven't got any more of these lined up now. There's no other clients that we're working with that would, for whom this would be suitable. So it could potentially be a bit of a one-off, but I'm hoping that at some point in the future we get the opportunity to deliver it again, and there might be the chance to do some of the communications workshops, the presentation skills workshops that I've also done previously. So that was really good. I thought I had another session to do actually. That was 90 minutes. I thought I had another one to do at lunchtime as well, but that actually was a diary mismanagement. So it was in my diary, but I wasn't delivering it. It was virtual, so fortunately I hadn't planned any travel. And I hadn't turned anything down because I had that in my diary. So no problem. I mean, I had an hour extra, which I wasn't expecting today. And I managed to get on with quite a few tasks and things that have project-based things that have needed to get done. One thing that did come through yesterday, which is a bit frustrating, but perhaps not surprising, was the inquiry I had come through for August, potentially speaking at an event, an away day in August. They just asked a fee, asked for a bit of an idea as to what I'd speak on and what I'd do, and I sent that off. And I feel like I didn't do as my usual thing, which is to do a little video and to really kind of trying to get to understand a little bit about the event and what they're looking for or what the budget is. I just kind of went straight out because they'd asked for the fee. I just gave them the fee, and in the end, they came back and said, actually, we're not going to be able to do all the things we wanted, and so we won't have the budget to do to bring in a what she described as a motivational speaker. So I have gone back to them and said, look, let's have a call anyway. It'd be interesting to see what we could do potentially, or even for future engagements in the autumn. So we'll see if that comes back. But as I said, I feel like I didn't follow my own process with that. It's not a perfect process, but it's a process that certainly works better than this outcome. And usually that just involves kind of getting on the phone in the first place and actually having a conversation rather than just responding to an email, which is essentially what I just did then. Although having said that, the event that I'm doing in Portugal, that's exactly what happened. I got the inquiry, what's your fee? Are you available? This is my fee. This is my availability. Came back. Then it went into a conversation, a Zoom call. And then it went to we've confirmed this with the client, and yes, we'd like to go ahead and book you. So it can work, but I think the process, it can, I know that there's other steps I can put into that process to increase the chances of success. So a lesson learned there, and it may not be dead in the water anyway. There might still be something that I can do to salvage it. So I'd say kind of going into the back half of July and into August, where I've got very few engagements now booked in. I've got a few this month, and I've got a few next month as well, but not very many. and still a couple that I'm waiting to hear back from as well. Um, even though I've got a busy September lined up, I'm still looking at this and thinking I really kind of want to get some more engagements booked in for these next 6 weeks. But at the same time, it might just be a little bit kind of late for that now. August is definitely not a good time to be trying to book sessions in, and July, we've only got 2 weeks. So I'm also kind of coming to terms with the fact that there's probably not going to be anything else popping into my diary. There are actually 2 sessions that I might be delivering in August that I haven't had confirmed yet, so I've got to follow them up as well. But otherwise, it'll be a case of knuckling down on my other projects through the next next 6 weeks or so. Obviously, taking some time out myself as well. But in that time, coming up with the plan for the final quarter of the year, or the final third of the year, so September, October, November, December. I know I can still hit my targets, but it's going to take a lot of effort and work to do that. Prepared to do that, but I need to make sure that I've got a plan to put into place. So anyway, there's my daily update for today. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Give it a like if indeed you have. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Leave a comment if you have any thoughts or questions about any of this. And make sure you check back in again tomorrow for another daily update. Bye for now.